Hey ho, it's Paul Liano, Principal Dentist at Tangmere Dental Care near Chichester. I'm doing this series of videos to investigate how effective certain mitigating factors are in controlling aerosol produced when we work in the mouth. The first thing that we need to find out is an effective baseline in terms of how long it takes for the aerosol to settle in just a closed, sealed room with no other mitigating features in effect at all. And that's the subject of this video. I've set up a particulate meter on my dental light over here, and just above it my phone to act as a timer for when we actually stop the AGP, the aerosol, or in this case the vape smoke, and then show the levels at which, or the speed at which, the particulates in the surgery drop. And I'll be doing this with lots of other mitigating equipment, which will be the subject of future videos. A little disclaimer at this point is that these tests are specific to my situation in my surgery here. It's not a validation to either employ or to discontinue recommended safety measures. I'll just show you the meter here of parts per million, PM 2.5, PM 10, which at the moment the reading here is PM 2.5 is at 8 or 9, PM 10 is at 10, PM 1.0 is at 5. Now that air quality is excellent. HCHO below here is formaldehyde, and this is total volume of organic compounds, I think, so volatile things. But essentially we want to take all these. Experts say that PM 10 is actually respiratable particulates. But we'll look at all of those, and then we'll time and see how quickly the actual aerosol drops to acceptable levels again, so somewhere around about this level, and how quickly, obviously, on the timer that takes to take effect. Okay, so on to some measurements to simulate the aerosol. My wife Susie has volunteered to use a vape, as this produces clouds of visible and measurable smoke. Just to point out that Susie is obviously in my social bubble, hence the lack of PPE. She is an ex-smoker, and it is a nicotine-free vape. Also, these tests are being done at the weekend, and the surgery will be having a deep clean before it's used again. So come on in then, Susie. And if you sit yourself down there, try not to bump into this. We've got the particulate meter on here. We can see that the measurements are excellent at the moment. Now, I did do some tests yesterday and decided to bin them, as I made a couple of mistakes. As in the real world, when treating a patient, there's movement in the surgery, so I'll be simulating that as well. Okay, so let's see how quickly the particulate readings go up. So Susie, when you're ready. Let's see, there's plenty of smoke here. Whoa! And readings going up quite quickly. Yeah, I think it took 5 breaths last time to max out the meter. So do the same again today. How many was that? We're at maximum now. Okay, do one more. So we've got plenty in the room. Obviously this is totally above what would actually be being produced. Okay, so Susie's stopped there, so we'll start the timer, and we'll see how long these readings take to fall in a normal room. No ventilation systems are in operation. The room's sealed, no windows are open, no doors. What I'll do though, as these levels start to drop a little bit, is I'll walk on round. Okay, so obviously I'd be doing my notes, I'd be talking to the patient, saying things are over, maybe the AGP might have finished well before the patient actually leaves. But at some point the patient will get up and go. Of course, have to keep your PPE on during this time because of all this cloud of stuff. So if there's something else that will actually work effectively to mitigate however long this is going to be, then obviously that's going to reduce the potential fallow time that we'd have between AGPs, aerosol generating procedures. It's actually falling quite quickly now. So we'll pretend that we've finished then, Suze, and if you can just go out, what I'll do is I'll walk around the surgery myself a couple of times. There's a door opening and closing. Very quickly, we do emphasise they've got to leave the room quickly when they do. What I'll do is I'll just walk around. Of course, we have our PPE on, because at the moment I'd be walking around if everything is correct in a coronavirus suit, and that's one of the big problems. I don't know if that's making the readings go up. I'll have a look at that when I play back the video later. So after just over 2 minutes, we're down to 120. So what I'll do is, for the sake of not making this a hugely long video, I'll speed this up, and we'll be back with you in a minute. I'll stay still now and pretend that I've actually left the surgery, because normally there'd only be one opening and closing of the door. Well guys, this is fairly surprising that even just after 3 minutes I have got up and walked around. We're getting down to reasonable levels already. What I'll do is I'll quickly sort of get up and walk around again and see if that sort of stirs up the air. Oh, the meter's gone off. I'll quickly pop that back on. So it has its little timeout there. As I said, I did some videos yesterday, but I just didn't have a timer on, and we didn't sort of do the walking around. So we actually found that normal levels were hovering around about the 10 parts per million on the PM 2.5. At the moment, the respirable particles, PM10, here is at 34. What I'll do is I'll just have another walk round and see what happens. Now, of course, movement within the surgery during the fallow time is not part of the protocol. You should leave the room completely empty and not enter at all, so that it doesn't stir up the air. But because the readings are dropping so quickly, I thought it was appropriate to do that, because of course there's going to be dead zones within the air space in the surgery, as there's absolutely no air movement at all. And as you can see, the readings are still coming down quite low, even though I've moved around within the surgery. Right, there we go guys, that's what I was waiting for. It went down on the PM10 down to 10. It seemed to hover just around about there 11. I think I'm going to take that as my baseline, because that's the respirable particulates. The thing I'd point out is surprisingly that the overall air quality dropped to excellent really just within a few minutes. So that's appreciably down anyway on the hours fallow time, that with just no mitigating equipment at all, not even the high volume suction in the surgery chair, which everybody has. Right, so yes, some interesting results. In future videos I'll be testing the actual particulates generated by some dental equipment, working safely on models just with water containing a little bit of antiseptic so as to make any aerosol that it generates measurable. Then I'll be testing the mitigating effect of certain items of equipment and facilities that we can add to the surgery to actually filter and purify the air. So thank you for watching. Until the next one, stay safe.